What's up, everybody? Cality Omar here from inhalton.com. And for the first time ever on inhalton.com, I have the mayor of Oakville, Rob Burton. Welcome.
Welcome. Glad to be here.
So a lot of questions, so you want to get started right away?
If you've got questions, I've got answers. Hopefully they match.
Okay, let's do this. All right. So Oakville is committed to building 33,000 new homes. Where are they going to go, and do you expect public opposition?
They're going to go. I guess the easiest way to answer the question is to give you the context. We've always known we were going to grow, and we have an official plan that protects our stable, established neighborhood streets where we live by directing growth to transit corridors and nodes. And that's our urban structure. And that structure will accommodate a huge amount of growth. So we will always be able to be a city that calls itself a town and feels like a village.
Okay. Do you expect any public opposition?
I don't think so. The Livable Oakville official plan was brought in with the most amazing amount of 2 years of extensive public consultation, capped off by a very crowded council meeting where all of our neighborhood groups showed up to endorse it. One leader of one residents group said, "It feels so good to live in a town where the council listens to the residents."
Okay. So how tough has it been to make the residents understand that, it's important to add condos to Oakville?
I think about 80% or the vast majority of Oakville completely understands the proposition that we have to grow, and we either grow in condos in our transit corridors and nodes, or we change the street, the stable established neighborhood streets where we live to be much more dense. And we have a great variety of these kinds of streets where we live. Some are very low density, some are not so low, some are medium, but everybody has chosen the kind of street they want to live on. And 8 out of 10 people would like it kept the way they bought it. And 8 out of 10 seem to understand that that means condos somewhere else besides on your street. And if you don't want them at the GO station, they're going to be in your neighborhood. So it's not a case of, you're never allowed to close the door. You're never full. True. And the 21st century belongs to Canada because we're now the best place on the planet as a country to live, and we're attracting the best and the brightest people from all over the world, and they're bringing their family and friends. We have a huge advantage globally as an economy because of all the talent that we're stealing from the other countries that can't keep their stuff together. So big advantage, but you gotta make room for people if you wanna be an economic success story. You gotta make room for the talent.
True. These questions are coming from our journalists on inhalton.com, myself, and the social media world. This one is from the social media world. Will Oakville ever allow legal cannabis stores?
You remember the 8-ball, that toy that everybody had as a kid?
I remember that. I still have one.
If I was the 8-ball, I would shake the 8-ball and turn it upside down, and up to the top would float the answer, doubtful.
Doubtful, okay. Do you have one of those 8-balls in council?
I wish I did. I do have one at home. I have. I've always been afraid to bring toys to council meetings.
Okay, so you said doubtful, right?
Yeah, I think it's doubtful.
Okay, so you've always pushed for creating a 2,000-acre eco park. How close is this to becoming a reality?
Oh, we've already bought the first 110 acres. And it should be in service within a year or so. There's some fixing up that you got to do to make a park out of a bunch of land. And the rest of the land that is referred to for the eco park, basically it's the 2,000 acres above the 407, all of which is green belt or otherwise unbuildable.
Yep.
And so it doesn't cost very much. And normally we would assume that because it's green belt, it's saved and protected. But within the last year, we've seen a case where the green belt wasn't quite as permanent as we thought it was. And so by turning it into a municipal, by acquiring this land, it's 2,000 acres, and turning it into a municipal park, we have a little tougher level of protection on the land than the green belt seems to give.
Okay. Let's see. This question's from Gene, one of our writers at inhalton.com. You've put the new central library and the theater on hold to build a new hospital. How close are you to getting the new central library and theater in Oakville now?
We're really close. I believe we've started the work to revive the project in this budget this year. I am very, very confident that we'll be breaking ground on that this term. So, start before the end of the term. And my understanding of construction is it takes about 2 years to build almost anything.
Is that both projects, Mayor?
Yeah, I'm bullish on both.
Okay.
The full downtown vision is a new parking structure with something on top that's worth visiting so that you can see forever over the lake. Okay. And the new Performing Arts Center and the new Central Library, and as a kind of bonus cultural facility, a new and better presence for the Oakville galleries in the downtown.
Okay.
They've always been somewhat suburb oriented in an old mansion that was donated to the town many years ago. It's not really suited for a gallery. And so they've long wanted to be downtown.
Cool. So all three projects. All right. Yeah. Okay. What kind of changes are needed to make Kerr Street and Bronte area thrive in the future?
We've been working on those two areas, believe it or not, for a good 30 years. In fact, one of the first things I was ever involved in as a citizen was the revitalization task force for the Kerr Street area. And that was back in the 90s, long before I ever got interested in doing anything political. So, but the short answer is, what's ahead for those two areas is the same sort of streetscape upgrade that we gave the downtown village. And those two areas and the downtown village all need more parking. So the downtown Oakville Village got the streetscape facelift, let me call it, and Bronte and Kerr are due theirs. And all three of them need a boost to parking.
Okay. This question's from one of our Instagram viewers. How many parking spaces did we lose with the new sidewalks in downtown Oakville?
I don't actually think we lost any, but it is possible that we lost one or two because of the design of the cutouts, but it wasn't significant. And when we add we're going to add several hundred new parking spots when we build that parking structure. So we're going to be well to the good when the entire project is finished.
Awesome. And is there any talk of future transit connection between Halton Hills and Oakville?
Well, actually, no. I've never really heard any talk of that nature. We don't share a border with Halton Hills. You have to go through quite a lot of Milton before you get to Halton Hills from Oakville.
True. Okay. And here's a fun one. This is mine. My question. I'm going to say anybody under 40 has no clue that you started YTV. How did you come up with that idea, Mayor?
I wish it was my idea, but it was my 4-year-old daughter Rachel's idea. And so I've always said to folks, listen to your children. You never know when they'll give you $1 million idea.
Awesome. So any more to add to that?
Oh, there's many a lovely long story, but I'm not sure you really want to. My experience of video is people don't have any time for a long story. That's the short story.
Okay. All right. That's all the questions I have, Mayor. Is there anything you would like to chat about?
No, I just really want to thank you for the opportunity to reach more people. It's really important to the result that we seek, which is a healthy, strong, engaged community. You know, one of the things that I wish people knew more about is our history. I work really hard to try to promote and keep alive our history. One of our restaurants in downtown Oakville used to have on the back of the menu a story about how they were once the town hall.
Okay.
And on the main floor where you would eat is the old clerk's office, or was the old clerk's office. And in the basement, which was where you used to have to go for the restroom, was the jail. And if you went upstairs, was the old council chamber. And they've taken that off their menu and expanded quite a lot. And the only hint that something might have been there before is how rustic and original the inside of the building seems to be.
Have you talked to management about the taking off this history portion from the menu?
Constantly.
What do they say?
Well, I think their actions are their answer.
Okay.
Look, they're a lovely place and a lovely bunch of people, and it's it's their business, it's their right. So if you want the history, you're going to have to come to the Oakville Historical Society or tag me on the street, and I'll tell you.
All right, cool. Okay, awesome. Mayor Burton, thank you so much for being with me. I'll catch you next month.
All right, looking forward to it.
Take care.